All right, folks, welcome to the final home game for the Scott Skyhawks in this 2010-2011 season. Sad it's all coming down to this final one, but boy, once again, what a way to end out the season. We've seen Bluefield, top 10 team in AA. Then we saw the shocker last week against Wyoming East. Here, now on this Tuesday night, senior night, here's the seniors Dave Ward, Marshall Tully, and Justin Harmon. Get to wrap it up with over number 3, Poca, Dotson, the top 2 teams in the Cardinal Conference, as this Cardinal Conference showdown is upon us, and this is one people have been talking about for a while. Wyoming East and the Bluefield's a big game, but this is the Cardinal Conference. You got some more bragging rights. This is a team, either way, you have to play twice a year. Yeah, it's a team in the region, too, Tony, so, get to the state tournaments, Hawks want to see them, again. But, one thing about being your last home game is senior night. You're going to get a good crowd. Everybody going to come out and support, all the winter sports athletes. They'll be here tonight and they'll be recognized. But packed house, Tony, as we sit here and look across from them, man, we're probably near capacity already, and we're about 6 minutes from tip-off. So we've seen how well this team plays off energy. Especially you talk about it all the time, how well their point guard, Jesse Belcher, plays. He plays off the crowd. Be interesting to see if any of the rest of the guys feed off this energy here tonight. You have to think at least the seniors are going to have a little extra emotion tonight. Ward, Harmon, and Tully. I could just see them just getting throwing a couple extra fist pumps out there after a made basket or drawing a charge or something like that. So it's going to be a good one. And once again, we're just happy to be along for the to bring it to you. These kids, we don't know so much about the Poca boys, but we know they're led by Jason Cuffey. We'll talk about more of him here in a minute. But Scott, they just got a nice 6-8 man rotation. All play well together. They all feed off each other very well. And this is just, again, one that people have been looking forward to. And as you can see, there's the turnout here. It seems like everybody in Madison's over here for this one. I'm telling you. Standing room only. Now's the time to go do some wheelies out and some donuts out there in vacant parking lots. There ain't no cops. It seems like they're all here. Not saying I've ever done that, but it's an option. We don't encourage our viewers to do that. But if you're over 21 years old, we can't stop you. Right. But again, we'll go over Poca. They're led by arguably, everyone says Khalif Wright of Oak Hill is the biggest, is one of the best player in AA, along with this Jason Cuffey, 6'3" senior swingman, little guard forward combo. And he lights people up. He's got, I've heard he's getting D1 football looks. Marshall was maybe one school rumored to be looking at him in football. We don't know how much truth there is to that. But, so he's going to be athletically talented. He's going to bring a lot of to the table. He's going to be the leadership factor. And from what I've heard, this Cuffey kid's the real deal. I'm excited to watch him. Well, he's probably the best player to come through Poca since one Noah Cottrell. Before he left out. And anybody that's watched, I got to watch this Cuffey's kid's highlights on YouTube, and he gets his shot off quick like Noah did. I'm not saying he's the same type player, but the Hawks going to get a hand in his face tonight, Tony, to make him take contested shots. He only goes 6'3". That's pretty big in AA. You get your hand up in his face, might make a difference. Well, you already know who's going to be getting assigned the task to guard of Marshall Tully. Yeah. He's done an absolutely phenomenal job with the last 2 big opponents we've seen, Bluefield and Wyoming East, and shutting his man down. He even got WVSportsNet.com player of the game against Wyoming East for his 15 points, but also his locked out abilities on the defensive end. So he's a defensive specialist, and once again, he's getting thrown right into the fire on senior night. His last chance to shut someone down is one Jason Cuffey, and what a way to finish out his career it would be, is if he could hold that young man to a really, really below average night. Yeah, I think if you hold him to 15 to 23 points, Tony, that's a win for the Skyhawks in that column, because emotion is going to be so high. It's so important for the Hawks to come out and play their game. Tully can't get excited, get a couple fouls. Ward can't do the same thing, especially Harmon. If that happens and this team picks up some early fouls, changes the whole complexion of the ball game. And it goes the same way for Poca. So we hope both teams I hope we see the type of game we saw against Wyoming East, man. Teams running up and down the court like they did, shooting the basketball, offensive explosion. Definitely adds to a little more excitement when there's a little pace to the game. Absolutely. But now back here on the other side, Scott's got a job to do, and what's done well for him all year. Get the ball down low to Harmon. or if he don't get it, kick it back out the Dave Ward. And hopefully we see a little more tonight of the chemistry that those two boys have. Because we're going to hype it up here for just a second. I mean, we talk about it in every other broadcast. I haven't seen another big man tandem this year have near the chemistry.
Right.
I mean, Dave Ward will get a pass and just throw it like over his shoulder, no one even looking, you know, and like boom, right there's Harmon going perfectly, already catching it in stride up to the rim.
Right.
And on the other hand, I mean, Harmon does a good job. If he's double teamed, he kicks it back out to Ward for the open three.
Yeah.
You know, Ward can hit the deep jumper along with Jesse Belcher and Matt Dolan and, you know, and Will Schaefer, players like that. But one other thing I noticed is that Poca's got a little bit of size around the perimeter, and that's one thing that may have to worry Coach Kingery and his Hawks, because they're not the biggest of teams. They got two sophomores and a junior out there.
Right.
5'7", 5'9", 5'9". And you're going up against 6'1", 6'2", 5'11". You're giving up a little bit of size there, so you have to make up for that with a little bit of quickness. And then
Dolan and Schaefer, you know, they got to play big tonight, Tony, along with Belcher. Guard play wins you ball games. Everybody knows what Ward and Harmon's going to do, and they're going, you know, that's the Scots' offensive philosophy: start on the inside and come out, and they can't forget that. They got away from that Wyoming East, Tony, and just about got beat due to it. You know, they were jacking up shots. Now, I'm not saying Scott's not a jump shooting team, but you need to throw it to the block, work off Harmon, them double teaming, because somebody else is going to be open. They will not single cover Harmon tonight at 6'7" and be successful. They will not do it. So if the ball goes to the block, I feel like that's where Scott takes their advantage. They kick it out, find an open man.
That's right. I mean, if there's two guys guarding one guy, there's always one guy left open. At least that's the golden rule. But again, it is senior night, and we have some senior night ceremonies getting ready to take way. So we're going to go ahead and focus our attention back here to center court.